Hey guys, so today I'm going to take you through some kettlebell exercises. A few of you follow my programs online or at home and have been asking for a few hints and tips. So today I thought I'd take you through some of the exercises and show you how to do them correctly. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Going to start with a bit of mobility work. So take the kettlebell, place it behind your back, pull those shoulder blades right down your back, and then you're going to look up into the air and then down, so chin to your chest, and then as far back as you can to feel the stretch. Then we're going to look over our shoulder and follow your eyes as far as you can back over your shoulder. So looking as far around as you can over each side of your shoulders. Then we're going to take our ear down to our shoulder, trying not to let the other shoulders lift up. So ear to shoulder, keeping those shoulders down your back. Shake it out. Now we're going to do shoulder shrugs. So make some nice big circles with your shoulders, hollow in your chest, and then push it all the way through. Moving down onto hip circles, making sure you push right back to warm up those hips for the hinge. Make sure you go both ways. Then we're going to go knees. So feet slightly closer together, and you're going to bend your knees so you're doing knees and ankles with this one. You're going to go both ways. These are just examples, so make sure that you do more, at least 5 or 6 on each side. We're going to warm up our toes and our ankles, so push the pressure through your big toe and then onto your small toe, little toe, and then onto the sides, both sides. We're also going to do wrists, so rotating wrists and rotating ankles at the same time. Put your hands together and then you're going to rotate round. I'm obviously thinking what I'm doing here. That's it, rotate round. And we're going to do our feet at the same time. These are just examples, as I said, guys, so please make sure that you are actually doing more. You should take quite a sort of 5 to 10 minutes of the mobility stuff to warm up before we get going. We're now going to take the kettlebell and we're going to do halos. So that goes around your head. So it's drawing a line from the bottom of your chin around the base of your skull. Don't move your head, move your shoulders. So this is opening up the shoulders. You're then going to go down into prying goblet squats. So again, opening up the hips, ready for the squats. Push through, push over onto each ankle and make sure you warm up those hips and ankles properly. Okay, lying down on the floor, we're going to do arm bars. So take the kettlebell into one hand and one foot placed on the floor, knee bent, the other one out straight, and then your arm above your head. You're then going to roll over using your leg to stabilize yourself. Then you're going to twist through, making sure your shoulders are stacked on top of each other. Try driving your glute and hip into the floor. Then you're going to bring your leg back up, and we're going to do bent arm bar. And you're going to pull your arm into the side of your back ever so slowly, taking a nice deep breath in. And as you come down, exhale. Going to swap sides. If you find this a struggle, guys, this arm bar is to mobilize the T-spine. So it's good for your posture. It also stretches out your shoulders and your pec as well. You'll also feel all the stabilizing muscles working in the top of your shoulder. So use a weight appropriately. Try and do it unweighted first, then even just put a shoe or hold a bottle or a can in your hand, something light. It's more about the technique. So hold that bell above the weight above your shoulder. Make sure it's stacked on top of each other, and then you're twisting through your T-spines. That's the top half of your body. You're driving your glute and hip into the ground. It's really good for posture, guys. It's a great one to do for shoulder stability, chest, and your spine posture. Again, when you bring that arm down, make sure you're breathing in. Take a nice big deep breath in, and then move the arm a little bit further down each time. Okay, we're going to start with the deadlift. The bell is going to be placed in between your feet, so about where the arch of your foot is. Your feet are going to be hip width apart. You're then going to push back on your hips as far as you can to learn the hinge. Keep your arms straight, lock in your lats, so squeeze in your shoulder blades, and make sure you maintain a neutral spine. So from the side, if you look, push back on your hips, shins stay parallel with the bell, and then you're going to pick the bell up. Make sure you're hinging and make sure you can feel your hamstrings. You're then going to squeeze your shoulder blades in together and you're going to lift. So it's just standing up straight. It's kind of a bit of a pop action at the top. So squeeze your glutes at the top and then you're going to place it back down in between your legs. This is the deadlift. Okay, now you've learnt the deadlift, we're going to move on to the two-handed swing. You need to be about a foot away from the bell. Your feet need to be hip width apart, and what I'm doing here with my feet is a good way to tell where your feet should be placed. It's about hip width. You're then going to hinge, the same as you did on your deadlift. Shins stay parallel up straight, so it's not a squat. And then you're going to pull the bell backwards, hike it between your legs, and drive with your glutes and your quads. So everything's engaging. It's a pop action. It's quite explosive. We're only going to shoulder height, shoulders back at the top. Engage your core. And as you thrust the bell forwards, you breathe out. So take a breath in at the bottom and then breathe out as you thrust. Shake it off in between each sets. Don't let your body cool down. We're going to go again. So hands on the bell, hike it backwards. You're aiming for the top part of your triangle. So the bell should be, if you look, my arms are quite high up. The bell should be landing between the top half above your knees. If you're too far down, then your back will be arched and then you'll feel your lower spine. Make sure you're going just to shoulder height and it's a pop action, so drive with your glutes and your quads. Pop it down and shake it off in between each set. Next, we're going to move on to the goblet squat. So with your feet positioning for your squats, it's all personal. So you're going to have to play around with your feet to make sure that it feels right. Your toes can be turned out, and the idea with the squat is your knees track your toes and your back stays in neutral. So you come down, knees need to break parallel with your, hips need to break parallel with your knees. Stay upright, engage your core and breathe out as you come up out of your squat. So hips breaking parallel with your knees, squat down and stand up. Engage your glutes on the way up. Make sure in between each of your sets you're staying fast and loose, so shake it off. Don't let your body cool down. Okay, we're going to move on to the single arm swing. So it's the same setup as your two-handed swing. Place your hands both down on the bell. Obviously the bell is slightly more edged towards the side that you're going to swing. You're going to hinge. The spare arm can be out to the side and you're still going to drive exactly the same. So it looks exactly the same as a two-handed swing. You just got one hand on the bell. Make sure your shoulders are back and staying in line at the top. Use your core. So breathe in and then exhale as you drive with your glutes. Pop the bell down in between each arm, or you can change over in the air. This is a little bit more complicated, but pop it down when you change your arm. See, all the drive is coming from my glutes and my quads. Okay guys, we're going to look at the kettlebell press. So it's a single arm press. Safely clean the bell up into rack position. Make sure your elbow is in by your ribs. Make sure your wrist is nice and straight and then you drive up overhead. The other spare hand can be out to the side to give you balance. You're going to tense your quads, so tense your legs, pull up your kneecaps, engage your glutes. So really make sure everything is nice and tight and stable. This is the changeover of the hands in the air like I spoke about a moment ago. You're going to clean it back up and press with the other side. Make sure everything is switched on, so core's engaged, lats are packed down, and then you drive up overhead. If you want to get stronger in your press, then you need to make sure that you're engaging your glutes and making sure that you're breathing correctly and into your tummy. Next is the bent over row. So the leg is out to the back and straight. Arm is resting on the bent knee, and then you're rowing the bell up. You're keeping your elbow in nice and tight, so it's working the lats. Keeping back nice and neutral. And it's like a row. Swap sides. As you can see, my back is neutral. Arm is on the bent leg, and the other leg is out straight to the back. Okay, we've got our little sequence coming up. So you've got a single arm swing, a clean, a press, and a front squat. So swing the bell out, clean it up, press overhead, and squat down. With your clean, it's about keeping it in nice and tight. It's quite a quick movement. I can explain how to do that one if you need a separate video for this one. So swing, swing, clean, press, squat. Okay, next we have thrusters, guys. You're going to hold the bell by the horn. You're going to make sure it's away from your chest, squat down and drive up overhead. So you're using the force from the squat to push the bell overhead. I'm doing this one with one bell. You can actually do it with two bells, one in each hand, obviously in rack position, and then drive up overhead like the front squats, or this one works just as well. So squat down and drive up, push up at the same time as coming out of your squat. Next, we've got the Turkish Get Ups. Legs are at 5 and 7 o'clock. I'm going to put the bell over our head and make sure it's over your chest. You're going to drive up onto elbow, up onto hand. Going to keep your lats and shoulders packed down. You're then going to push up, bridge up and sweep your leg through, making sure it lands in a triangle. Hinge backwards and up, looking at the bell at all times until now, and then take a step up. So coming back down, leg comes down, arm comes out, leg comes through, making sure shoulders are packed at all times, down onto your elbow and then down.